When asked what I think will be added to the rest of the upper yard and grounded, I always say most likely another hedge because it appeared in one of the old trailers, but I could never remember which one. So the other night I went through the old trailers on stream and with the help of some eagle-eyed viewers found exactly what I was looking for. In this video I'll show you the location of the second hedge in grounded. Before we get started, make sure to click the subscribe button below so you never miss any future grounded videos. Let's get started. So what I wanted to do before we take a look at the trailer is just show you basically the before and after, or actually in this case the after and before. This is what the upper yard looks like now after the Into the Wood update. In just a second, we're going to see the trailer for the Shroom and Doom update, which is going to show the upper yard having more grass. It's going to have a bunch of other stuff up here as well. So what I want to do is just do a quick walkthrough. So of course, all this was updated in the Into the Wood update. And I do believe that there was actually grass over here at some point. Like I said, I don't normally go up here, but I'm almost positive this had more grass in it at some point, and they may have just taken it out. So real quick, we're just going to walk across here, and what you're going to notice, there's a bunch of undulations. There's nothing really up here, although if you're looking for plant fiber or sprigs or pebblets, this is a great place to come because there are no bugs over here at all, and there's tons of these. So this would be a super good place to come find those. And then as we come over here, the only thing we're going to notice in this entire side of the yard, other than the fact that there's undulations in here, and these random little plants over here and rocks, is there is a single light over here, and I think there's a couple of rocks in the middle of the yard. I just want to get up on top of this rock real quick so we can see, because the main thing we're going to be looking at from the Shroom and Doom update trailer is going to be this upper right corner of the map where some things were in that have not appeared before or after it that may or may not be coming in the future. So as we get up here to the crest of this hill, you're going to notice, and of course the render distance doesn't go out that far, but it goes out far enough. Basically, you can see there's nothing up here. There's just these two rocks, and then there's the light over here. So what I want to do right now is I'm going to hop on over, show you some still frames or some slow motion footage that I cut out of the Shroom and Doom update trailer. I will leave a link for it down in the description below in case you haven't seen that update trailer for whatever reason. I'll leave a link for the original video down there. You can watch the whole thing. And just for your reference, if you're looking for the parts that I've cut out of it, or that I'm showing that I'll be showing in just a second, they appear between the 12-second mark and about the 30-second mark. So that's where we're going to be able to see them. Now, I would recommend if you actually watch the real one to put it into really super slow-mo. I think you can go down to 25% speed. You're going to want to watch it at that low of a speed because otherwise you're likely going to miss some of the stuff that I'm showing, just like I missed it the first couple times I went through it. So up in the top left corner, you're going to see exactly what I'm talking about. This is the hedge that was shown in the Shroom and Doom update trailer. And while this hedge does look a little bit different than the other one, there is a chance it could just be a different kind of hedge. The hedge that's got the berries in it that's over by the house has the branches for it and leaves are just kind of all over the place. They look like they really haven't been trimmed. This one looks like it's perfectly manicured. However, it could also just be a placeholder. The shape that it's taking right now looks like it's almost just like a giant green block that's sitting up there, an L-shaped bush. So it just might be the placeholder, like I said, so this might not actually be what it looks like if it's added to the game. In front of you, you're going to see there's a lawnmower, and there's going to be some other items over there. So let's let the video play a little bit forward. And then real quick, we're going to pause right here, because there was one other thing I wanted to mention outside of the hedge and the other things that are going to appear in the upper yard. And that's this item right here that's on Hoop's head. This hat has not appeared in the game yet. It has appeared in the Koi Pond trailer, where I believe Willow is running across the lily pad with it on. Hoops has it on here, so it's been in at least 2 trailers. It has not been added to the game. There was some speculation that this thing turned into the antlion sombrero, and while it does have a slight resemblance to it, it doesn't really look like it. In fact, it's completely different color. It's green, and it's got this red thing on here, so I'm almost wondering if this hat, maybe it's been scrapped, or maybe it'll be added at some point in the future. To me, it kind of looks like a witch's hat, but anyway. Okay, so here we have a panoramic view of a bee flying around. What we're going to see real quick, I'm going to pause it in just a second. This is obviously the hedge. This is the hedge right now. It's in the game over by the house. This is where you get the berries, the bird baths over here. This is where the hedge lab's located. And as you can see, it looks totally different than the other one. Now, like I said, the other one might just be a placeholder in terms of what it looks like. Maybe if a second one is added, it will look like this as well, or although it could be different. So first things first is we have what looks like a car tire over here sitting in the middle of the upper yard. Of course, the lawnmower's right there, and then this is the hedge back here. And as you can see, the hedge is not very big. I'd almost expect this thing to take up more space, but anyway. And then first, now I'm going to point this out later on. Right here to the left, these almost look to me like some kind of plants. I don't know what they are. They're obviously not in the game right now, but interestingly enough, when we go forward a little bit and they show this part of the yard, these are not here. So I'm not sure what these are or what they could be, or maybe they've been scrapped. Okay, we're going to pause here again so you can see the crows up here on the laser. Back here we have the things we've already looked at. So we have the hedge, we have the lawnmower, and of course we have what looks like a car tire. And then the other thing that's up here that we had not seen before and is currently not in the game is this pile of cinder blocks. This is directly next to the shed. So on the right side of the shed if you're facing it. Of course, everything in front of and to the left of the shed has been updated. Nothing in the shed has been updated, although we don't expect that to be updated at this point, or if at all. But these cinder blocks are not in the game either. So those are the things that are in this trailer that are currently not in the game. And oddly enough, like I said, those plants that were in the previous scene that were to the left of the hedge that's up here, they're not appearing here at all. So I don't know what the deal is with those. And of course, if you watch the trailer that came after this, the Hot and Hazy trailer, none of this stuff appeared in there. I don't remember. I know that was not in there. I'm not exactly sure how many scenes actually went past this part of the yard, but I do know none of them were in there. There hasn't been any trailers since then. There was no trailer for the Into the Wood update. So this stuff only appeared, at least this stuff up here in the top part, only appeared in this one trailer, and it was only in the trailer for a little bit of time. So it was between the 12-second mark and I think the 30-second mark all this footage came from. So, and if you watch it in real time, like I watched it a couple times, and I had people in my chat saying, stop, go back, you missed it. And I was like, what? Because I watched it and literally didn't see it because it was so fast. It was only a couple frames before it skipped past it. So are these things likely to come to the game? I'm not sure, although I think it would make sense for them to come to the game. The upper yard has very little in it. It would make sense, kind of like the way it's laid out. It just would make sense to me to have a garden up there. So even if the hedge is not up there, it would make sense to have another garden, although I think a hedge would make sense. And the reason I say that is because obviously it's been reported by a couple of other people that there are files in the game files for a Mantis parts. Now, weirdly enough, those Mantis parts look like they're an Orchid Mantis. And from all the research I did, Orchid Mantises do not live in the United States. Now, I know this is not 100% realistic, but for the most part, the bugs that are in the game could be found in the Midwest of the United States, which is where the game is supposed to take place. Orchid Mantises, from what I saw, only live in Southeast Asia, typically in rainforests, so it wouldn't make any sense for an Orchid Mantis to be in the middle of the United States. But like I said, it's a fantasy video game, so it could happen. It could also be that those parts are now just colored a different color, and they're going to end up turning to be a different color, because more likely than not, if there's going to be a Mantis in the US, they're usually green, although I think they can change colors and blend in a little bit. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, but the ones I've seen are normally green, and they do typically live near bushes, at least the ones I've seen. So I've seen Mantises growing up in my yard around my house when I was growing up, and they were always near the bushes that were right in front of the house. And I've seen them in the house I live in now, typically outside in the backyard. I've seen them. Sometimes they're in the house, but usually you'll find them near a bush. So they like to be, it makes sense for them to be near things that are the same color as them. So obviously being in grass or in a green hedge would make perfect sense. So I could easily see a Mantis being added. Again, like I said, there's no confirmation that's going to come. Just because they put the Mantis parts in the game files, just because this stuff appeared in this trailer does not mean it's ever going to be added to the game. They may have changed course on what they were doing. This is from, I believe, last June. So it's about 8 months ago from the time that I'm recording this video. So lots of things can change in 8 months. Who knows what plans, who knows what they changed, what they scrapped, maybe what they added, maybe what they decided they want to change. I do think it would make sense for this to happen. It would make sense to have a hedge up here. I would be interested to see why the lawnmower would be there. I guess maybe we could farm some parts from it or something. The rubber tire, would that be a new source of a material? And I'm not sure what the cinder blocks would certainly probably have some kind of bugs in them, because usually if you leave cinder blocks laying around, there's almost surely going to be spiders inside of there. Same thing possibly with this tire if it's just sitting there. Maybe it collects rainwater or something like that. But anyway, let me know what you think down in the comments below. Do you think that the hedge is going to come? Do you think it's the most likely place if a Mantis comes? Do you think that would make sense for there to be a hedge? Let me know what other types of bugs or insects or possibly resources you think might get added to the upper yard, specifically if there's another hedge added or some kind of garden. What things do you think could be added to the game? Will the Mantis be the final boss? Will it not? I'd love to hear what you guys have to say down in the comments below. If you found this video interesting, make sure to hit the like button and consider subscribing for more videos like this. Thank you for watching, and thank you to all my channel members, especially the Overseer91, Baz Channel, and Grey Knight, who help make videos like this possible. Thank you so much again for watching, and I will see you in the next video.